Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanzeeba Naurin. Today we have brought up and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. Hunter Biden trial on criminal gun charges begins in Delaware. Biden prepares a tough executive order that would shut down asylum after 2,500 migrants arrive a day. In shakeup, Washington Post executive editor steps down. Kamala Harris will represent the US at a Swiss Peace Summit for Ukraine. Trump fans bus loaded with mega merchandise crashes in New York City. Rupert Murdoch marries for the fifth time. Mexico elects Sheinbaum as first woman president. Four more Israeli hostages have died in Hamas custody. A Paris judge questions three men suspected of psychological violence at Eiffel Tower. Novak Djokovic earns his record 370th Grand Slam match win with another French Open 5-setter. Kylian Mbappe joins Real Madrid after years of speculation. Simone Biles wins record 9th national championship and qualifies for Olympic trials. And South Africa wins T20 World Cup opener after Sri Lanka all out for 77. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. The criminal trial of Hunter Biden has begun in federal court in Delaware as President Joe Biden's son faces gun charges in a historic case. Hunter Biden arrived at the courthouse on Monday for the first trial of the child of a sitting president, in which he will face 3 felony charges stemming from his purchase and possession of a revolver in 2018. He has pleaded not guilty. The trial, which began with jury selections on Monday, comes as Joe Biden campaigns for re-election. First Lady Jill Biden, Hunter Biden's wife, Melissa Cohen Biden, and his half-sister Ashley Biden were in attendance at the trial in Wilmington before U.S. District Judge Mary Ellen Noreika. Jill and I love our son, and we are so proud of the man he is today, Joe Biden said in a statement, adding that a lot of families have loved ones who have overcome addiction. A jury was seated and sworn in at 4:20 p.m. Several potential jurors were dismissed for saying they have strong personal opinions about gun ownership, the Justice Department, or the Bidens. One was dismissed after saying he was friendly with Hunter Biden's late brother, Beau Biden. The first trial ever of progeny of a sitting president begins days after former President Donald Trump was convicted in his New York hush money case. The White House said last year that the president will not pardon his son if he is convicted. The trial, which will be overseen by U.S. District Judge Mary Ellen Noreika, is expected to last roughly 2 weeks. The White House is telling lawmakers that President Joe Biden is preparing to sign off on an executive order that would shut down asylum requests to the US-Mexico border once the number of daily encounters hits 2,500 between ports of entry, with the border reopening once that number declines to 1,500, according to several people familiar with the discussions. The impact of the 2,500 figure means that the border could be closed to migrants seeking asylum effectively immediately, because daily figures are higher than that now. The Democratic president is expected to unveil his actions, which mark his most aggressive unilateral move yet to control the numbers at the border, at the White House on Tuesday at an event to which border mayors have been invited. 5 people familiar with the discussions confirmed the 2,500 figure on Monday, while 2 of the people confirmed the 1,500 number. The figures are daily averages over the course of a week. All of the people insisted on anonymity to discuss an executive order that is not yet public. Other border activities such as trade is expected to continue. Senior White House officials have been informing lawmakers on Capitol Hill of details of the planned order ahead of the formal rollout on Tuesday. The executive editor of the Washington Post, Sally Busby, has abruptly stepped down from the role as the storied American newspaper undergoes a major restructuring, its chief executive said late Sunday. Assuming the job in 2021, Busby was the first female editor of the Post in 150 years. Her departure is part of the biggest move yet by publisher and CEO William Lewis since he took over in January, the newspaper said. Matt Murray, the former editor-in-chief of the Wall Street Journal, is assuming the executive editor position through November's U.S. presidential election, according to Lewis. There was no reason given for the departure of Busby, a former top editor of the Associated Press. In an email to staff, Lewis said he aims to launch a new division of the newsroom this year. The new operation will be separate from the traditional newsroom and the editorial or opinion division. Vice President Kamala Harris will represent the U.S. at this month's Swiss-organized Global Peace Summit on the war in Ukraine, an event promoted by Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. The White House said Harris would attend the meeting in Lucerne on June 15. President Joe Biden is scheduled to be at a campaign fundraiser in Los Angeles hosted by actors George Clooney and Julia Roberts. The vice president will underscore the Biden-Harris administration's commitment to supporting Ukraine's effort to secure a just and lasting peace based on Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity and the principles of the UN Charter, said her communications director Kristen Allen. She said Harris will also reaffirm support for the people of Ukraine as they defend themselves against ongoing Russian aggression. Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan will join Harris as part of the U.S. delegation. Zelensky has heavily boosted the summit and encouraged world leaders to attend, even as he is accused Russia, with China's help, of trying to undermine the meeting. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. A man and woman who sold pro-Donald Trump merchandise out of a bus covered with pro-Trump flags and posters are homeless after the vehicle crashed into several street signs and utility poles in New York City. The crash happened around noon on Sunday on Staten Island, the fire department said. Donna Ayton, who had been living in the bus with her husband, Rocky Granata, and their cat, Missy, told the Staten Island Advance that she was sleeping inside the parked vehicle when it began to roll along Highland Boulevard, crashing into signs and poles in its path. Photos of the crash's aftermath show the side of the bus ripped to shreds and Trump signs scattered about. "That's our life. We live in it. We travel in it. I have my daughter's ashes in it," Ayton told the Advance. "It's our business. It's our life." Ayton had to be extracted from the wrecked vehicle, firefighters said. She did not require medical treatment. The bus had been a frequent presence at Trump rallies around the country before it crashed. Media magnate Rupert Murdoch has married for the fifth time, tying the knot with a Russian-born retired molecular biologist. Murdoch, 93, and Elena Zhukova, 67 years old, exchanged vows in a ceremony at his vineyard estate in Bel Air, California, on Saturday, less than 3 months after the couple announced they were engaged. Murdoch's The Sun tabloid published photographs of the groom wearing a black suit and yellow tie and the bride dressed in an off-the-shoulder white gown. Guests at the ceremony included Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots U.S. football team, and News Corp chief executive Robert Thompson. Murdoch's fourth marriage to model and actor Jerry Hall ended in divorce in 2022. The billionaire was previously married to Chinese-born television executive Wendy Tang, Scottish-Australian journalist Anna Torv, and Australian flight attendant Patricia Booker. Now it's time for global updates. Claudia Sheinbaum won a landslide victory to become Mexico's first female president, inheriting the project of her mentor and outgoing leader Andrés Manuel López Obrador, whose popularity among the poor helped drive her triumph. Sheinbaum, a climate scientist and former mayor of Mexico City, won the presidency with between 58.3% and 60.7% of the vote, according to a rapid sample count by Mexico's electoral authority. That is said to be the highest vote percentage in Mexico's democratic history. The ruling coalition was also on track for a possible two-thirds supermajority in both houses of Congress. 4 Israelis taken hostage by Hamas on October 7 have been confirmed dead, the Israel Defense Forces said Monday. The families of Nadav Popplewell, Yoram Metzger, Amiram Cooper, and Haim Perry were informed that they are no longer alive and that Hamas has their remains, the IDF said. The deaths were announced as an Israeli ceasefire proposal backed by President Joe Biden was being challenged by right-wing ministers in Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government who are opposed to any deal with Hamas. The IDF said its decision to pronounce the 4 hostages dead was based on intelligence. We estimate that the 4 of them were killed together in the Khan Yunis area several months ago while being held by Hamas terrorists. IDF spokesperson Daniel Hagari said. Hagari did not say how they died, but in March, Al-Qassam Brigade's spokesperson Abu Ubaidah announced that Perry, Metzger, and Cooper were among the 7 hostages killed in an Israeli airstrike on Gaza. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. 3 men are under investigation in France on suspicion of committing psychological violence, prosecutors said Monday, after they allegedly placed 5 coffins at the foot of the Eiffel Tower, a Paris landmark that will feature prominently in the upcoming Olympic Games. According to officials at the Paris prosecutor's office, the 3 men, citizens of Bulgaria, Germany, and Ukraine, placed the coffins covered with a French flag that included an inscription of French soldiers of Ukraine near the Eiffel Tower on Saturday. On Monday, the 3 men were questioned by an investigative judge. The prosecutor's office is demanding that they be charged with premeditated violence, an offense that carries a 3-year sentence and a €45,000 fine, the officials said. Placing coffins at the foot of the Paris landmark that millions of tourists visit every year is considered an act of psychological violence, they said. It caused employees of the landmark and others an inability to work, the officials said, speaking on condition of anonymity because of a pending investigation. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 18,006.96. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 76.73 points or 0.42%. Tokyo stock close price is 38,923.03. The Nikkei 225 index is increased by 435.13 points or 1.13%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,078.49. The Shanghai index is decreased by 8.32 points or 0.27%. Hong Kong stock close price is 118,403.04. The Hang Seng index is increased by 323.43 points or 1.79%. Bombay stock close price is 76,468.78. The Sensex index is increased by 2,507.47 points or 3.39%. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. Novak Djokovic was bothered by his right knee, then found himself down a set and a break before doing what he does so well, coming back to beat number 23 Francisco Cerundolo 6-1, 5-7, 3-6, 7-5, 6-3 in the French Open's 4th round on Monday for his record 370th win in a Grand Slam match. Djokovic, the defending champion at Roland Garros, broke a tie with Roger Federer for the most match wins at major tournaments and also for the most slam quarterfinals for a man by reaching the 59th of his career. And the number 1 ranked Djokovic did it in ways he has so often over his years of dominance and 24 major trophies, both turning around a contest after trailing. Go ahead and ask Federer about holding match points against the guy and emerging when the tension is greatest. This victory across more than 4.5 hours means that Djokovic is now 40-11 in fifth sets over his career. Compare that to Cerentil's 1-3 mark, and the outcome should surprise no one. For Djokovic, this was the second consecutive match that lasted more than 4 hours, that he fell behind 2-1 in sets, and that he won in 5. In the third round, he made his way past number 30 Lorenzo Musetti, a 22-year-old from Italy, finishing Sunday after 3 a.m., the latest finish in French Open history. Kylian Mbappé is finally a Real Madrid player. Real Madrid said on Monday it reached a deal with the France star for the next 5 seasons, bringing together one of soccer's top talents and its most successful club. The announcement came after years of flirtation by Madrid with a player who inherited the status of the best in the game from Lionel Messi. The 25-year-old World Cup winner with France joins a Madrid team that is already loaded with talent and is still celebrating its latest European triumph. Just 2 days ago, Madrid won a record-extending 15th European Cup title when it beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0 in the Champions League final in London. Until now, Mbappé has played club soccer only for French teams, first at Monaco and for the past 7 seasons at Paris Saint-Germain, which he left as a free agent after it failed to persuade him to renew his contract. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest sports stories. Simone Biles won a record 9th all-around title at the US Gymnastics Championships in Fort Worth, Texas, earning her an automatic berth in the US Olympic trials ahead of the Paris Games. Biles, the 37-time world and Olympic medalist, also won national titles on all 4 appearances at the US Championships. The top 2 finishers, Biles and Sky Blakely, automatically qualified for the Olympic trials, which will be June 27 to 30 in Minneapolis. The 5 gymnasts representing the US at the Paris Olympics this summer will be named then. Sri Lanka was blown away for a record low 77 and South Africa won their 2020 World Cup opener by 6 wickets on Monday. South Africa overcame its own hiccups on the 2-paced pitch to cross the finish line at 80 for 4 with 3.4 overs to spare at the purpose-built Nassau County Stadium on Long Island. South Africa's best bowling performance in tournament history included pace bowler Henry Nokia's career-best 4-7 in 4 overs, pacer Kagiso Rabada's 2 for 21, spinner Keshav Maharaj's 2 for 22, and fast bowler Otnil Burthman's 1 for 9 in his second T20. Opener Kushal Mendis top scored for Sri Lanka with a 30-ball 19, one of only 3 scores in double figures. The Sri Lankans were dismissed in 19.1 overs for the 13th lowest score in T20 World Cup history. At only 4.2 runs per over, the match featured the lowest run rate in a T20 World Cup. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Hunter Biden trial on criminal gun charges begins in Delaware. Biden prepares a tough executive order that would shut down asylum after 2,500 migrants arrive a day. In shakeup, Washington Post executive editor steps down. Kamala Harris will represent the US at a Swiss Peace Summit for Ukraine. Trump fans bus loaded with mega merchandise crashes in New York City. Rupert Murdoch marries for the 5th time. Mexico elects Sheinbaum as first woman president. Four more Israeli hostages have died in Hamas custody. A Paris judge questions three men suspected of psychological violence at Eiffel Tower. Novak Djokovic earns his record 370th Grand Slam match win with another French Open 5-setter. Kylian Mbappe joins Real Madrid after years of speculation. Simone Biles wins record 9th national championship and qualifies for Olympic trials. And South Africa wins T20 World Cup opener after Sri Lanka all out for 77. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our website. Our website address is www.millenniumnews24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jagu TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jagu BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.